You can't have great cities without great leaders.
Being a part of Leadership Knoxville is a gift.
This is a community I've grown to love in a short amount of time, and I want to see it thrive and prosper.
Even if we do choose to leave for a bit of time, as I did, having that connection and having that knowledge always brings you back.
It was life-changing. It was life-changing. So often we live in silos and we stay where we're comfortable, and I think more than anything it helped me recognize the wows in our community, but like any community, there are also woes going on. I had heard that some of the experiences would be life-changing, and they may even prompt you to have a career change. And I thought, no way, no one does that. Well, that's exactly what happened to me. I was the principal of an affluent, high-performing school. After listening to Chief Roush talk about the prison pipeline, I decided to come downtown and work with some friends in a charter school. And our whole mission and vision is to grow urban scholars into college-bound leaders, because you have to have great leaders to have a great city. And who better to lead our city than scholars that have grown up in the heart of our city.
One of the greatest strengths of Knoxville is the relationship we have with the university. One of the bridges between the university and the city of Knoxville is the Leadership Knoxville Scholars Program. And I went into the relationship expecting it to be a more traditional mentor-protege relationship, accruing to the benefit of the student. But for me personally, in addition to getting a friend, I was able to have some real perspective on what I did as dean and try to build on that to be a better leader in other contexts.
When it comes to the Scholars Program, the course has done an incredible job in bringing students from all over campus together and to teach them about the city and what Knoxville is, what the history of the city is, and the challenges that we do have in Knoxville, and the different ways that we can use our own unique talents, strengths, background, experiences, and find something that we're passionate about within Knoxville and pursue that.
In my religious tradition, there's an idea called kenosis, and it means self-emptying. The standard for love is the willingness to empty oneself for the benefit of others, and being willing to lay it all on the line for some greater purpose than just one's own success. And we have been blessed in Knoxville to have some people over the generations who've been willing to empty themselves, and it's benefited all of us.
I think the best thing that I learned from YLK was that with servant leadership, great leaders make a great city.
Children are the messages that we will send into a time that we won't see. And I always think about what is the message that I want to send into time. And it's one of selflessness.
The most important term I learned was servant leadership. So many leaders in our community, so many important people, they were servants first and then they became leaders.
The most important thing I learned is that you gotta step out of your comfort zone and you gotta build these relationships with all these people.
After hearing all these great leaders and their stories, they took big risks. If I don't take big risks, then I will never see the change that I want to see.
I now have a volunteer position this summer because of the connections I made through Youth Leadership Knoxville.
This opportunity only comes once in a lifetime.
Leadership Knoxville matters a lot, and Intro Knox I think is a great example of that. It was really helpful for me because I had just moved to town and so knew a little bit about the city, but it really gave me a great survey of the community from an economic perspective, from an educational perspective, the nonprofit side of the city. I had such a powerful and great experience doing Intro Knox that I made a commitment that I was going to send somebody from First Tennessee, and I'm proud to say that I think in the 3 Intro Knox programs since I attended, I think now we've had 4 First Tennesseans. They seem to be getting a lot out of it, and so it's a win-win all the way around. The community wins, which is the most important thing, but First Tennessee wins because if they're engaged in the community, that's going to make them better employees.
Connect Knox is about finding the right issue for the right people at the right time and then move that issue into the spotlight. And one of the things I appreciate about the structure of Connect Knox is we try to make a lot of avenues open for people to give us input, to give us insight into the things that matter most to Knoxville. If the Connect Knox table is going to work, it's got to be a big table. It's got to be a diverse table. It's got to be a table with lots of different conversations and a lot of different perspectives. We scour the community to say who are the people that are really moving the needle in big ways and in small ways, and find ways to amplify their ability to serve by bringing them together. We have a plug-in series where we're bringing in thought leaders from our own community and from outside of Knoxville to allow our community to hear about things that we might be able to do differently. We take those ideas and we start to think, what's unique about our community so that we can action them in very specific ways. So it's about leaders connecting to other leaders, it's about leaders sending other leaders out, and it's about leaders taking accountability to make sure that we can actually get something done. So we are very intentional about creating opportunities for people to get together and talk about the big ideas that will move our community forward. That's the power of the big table, and it's also the power of Connect Knox.
I love making people smile, making people happy. And so whenever we're given that chance, I just think you need to seize it as much as you can, because if you're able to make someone's day, even just in the smallest way, it can have a huge lasting effect, and just the echoes that our kind words can have is really big.
I think when people think about leadership, they think of two things: prestige and power, when actually servant leadership is about kingdom building and it's about serving. It's about recognizing that if we don't do it, no one else is going to do it. Like, if not us, who will do it? And if we don't do it now, when will we do it?